Oh. So you don't get it all with the Kraken. It's bullshit.
It leaves a little bit of... God. It gets so much more air in you, though.
Yeah. Well, you have to think about, you're starting off with like that much air in between the beer already.
That's true. I guess when your mouth's there, it gets so much air in it. It goes fast, though, if you're good at it. But
all right, welcome back to another episode of Two Drunk Guys and a Football Podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Skinny Domestic.
And I am Marcus the Hammer Mary.
Had a good, solid playoff week in the NFL. Enjoyed another weekend of football. Unfortunately, it's ending soon. Now we just get one day of football. The next two times we watch football.
Yep. Sad.
Unfortunately. Coming to an end. Means the podcast season's coming to the end.
I know.
But, yeah, I mean, another good episode, I think, ahead. So I guess we'll just start it off with the news.
Oh. Titans hire Brian Catalan, the former Bengals OC, as their head coach. I was shocked a little bit. Because I'm pretty sure he doesn't even call plays. Pretty sure it's Zach, whatever the fuck his name is.
Zach Taylor.
What's his name? Zach Taylor. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he calls all the plays. So I don't know. That was a weird one. I know that the Bengals probably overperformed for what they were this year, especially having Joe Burrow out. And, their backup quarterback used to be the Vikings quarterback. What's his name?
Mullins.
Okay. No, not Mullins. Mullins was the Vikings quarterback. The Bengals backup quarterback. Number 8 or 9, whatever, 8.
Oh, Jake Browning?
Yeah, Jake Browning. He was a Minnesota Viking.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because once he went, he was stupid as fuck too. But once he beat the Vikings, he said he like made a comment. I don't know what he said. Something about like, you guys could have had me or something like that. And it was a different regime. It was Mike fucking Zimmer. What do you mean? It's like once you switch a regime, it's like a whole different team. It was Mike Zimmer and fucking what's his face? Our old Rick Spielman.
Yeah.
We have like.
Yeah, I was shocked by the hire. I thought it would be like an actual like head coach that's already been a head coach, not somebody that hasn't been, but they're trying something different, I guess. We'll see how it goes. You go from a defensive... Well, the other one, too, is you go from a defensive-minded guy to a offensive-minded guy. You know, the other one, too, is former Bengals offensive coordinator. You want to know who's a free agent wide receiver this year?
T. Higgins.
With a young quarterback, you kind of need some wide receiver play. Might be something that skews...
You think they're completely out of the quarterback realm of drafting possibility?
This year, I think so, yes. I think they
really.
I think they believe in... Will Levis didn't play bad. And again...
No.
You're going to be revamping your team this year. You're going to probably lose Derrick Henry. Like, you're not going to re-sign Derrick Henry, is my guess. So you're going to have a whole new...
I don't know, but teams give up on quarterbacks so quick. Look like Gardner Minshew. Like, Gardner Minshew really never did anything to lose a spot. They're just like, we could have Trevor Lawrence. We're going to take Trevor Lawrence.
I think the Titans are at least going to give him the benefit of the doubt for another year. I mean, fuck, they had Ryan Tannehill for how many years? Like, they put up with that shit, and they were winning with it. But, like, I think with a new head coach, bring in some guys... You're losing Derrick Henry. I don't know what they're losing on the defensive end. It'll be interesting to see because, like, the Titans have always kind of been like that nitty-gritty defensive team. So now it's going to see the difference of offensive coordinator being a head coach. How much does that defense change? What kind of D coordinator? You know, all that. Kind of shocking. I thought.
I feel like they could have done better.
Yeah, and
in my opinion, we'll see. Maybe he's going to be a great coach, but he must have been really like. Because I don't know, I'd rather have the Lions
Ben Johnson.
offensive coordinator. Yeah, Ben Johnson. I feel like he's a phenomenal coach. I mean, you have him. You have
I mean, the thing is
holy
too
shit.
is you have to look at like what do teams want, what do coaches want. So yeah, Ben Johnson might be probably the better option of all the coordinators for any head coach job. I think him and Bieniemy probably would be the top two, but then it comes down to their philosophies and another team's philosophy and what the team see. So I get it.
Did we talk about last week about Bill Belichick going to the Falcons for an interview?
Yeah.
We did.
Well, we talked.
Was it you that said? I couldn't remember. I don't have my notes by me, but I couldn't remember what we talked about last week. But was it you that said? Someone said it. I don't know if it was you or if it was someone else that said he just needs to walk in there and set down a resume of 28-3.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have been making that joke, but just what what makes you think that you can win, or a time that you've had to beat adversity and all that other shit. Yeah, I think the Titans will be fine. Again, that division besides the Jags, the Colts are right there with what they've had. They get Anthony Richardson back next year most likely. Even with Gardner Minshew, they were a viable almost playoff team. The Jags, you have the Texans. I mean, that's going to be a tough division, and you're going to have to win. And I think Will Levis, and you go get him. He did great with D-Hop. Go get him another top guy, T. Higgins. You have that mutual whatever already with the head coach relationship. So we'll see. I was shocked.
They'll be. Yeah, I was shocked too. Next thing is Zach Ertz signed to the Lions practice squad.
He's going to be
bumped. They're trying to get.
He'll be bumped up.
Probably. Zach Ertz is good in his day. He's just old as dirt.
Yeah, I like the signing. I think one of the things too is with Laporta, with his injury, you could definitely I don't know how much of the game you watched. He played great, but he was definitely feeling it. So
injured, yeah.
I know they have a couple other guys, but I think getting him in over some of those other guys for the receiving options is a smart move by the Lions.
Yeah, I watched a good amount of that game because my role one true king didn't end up making it happen, but yeah, Laporta, every single time he hit the ground, you could see him wincing a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially, he caught a pass on the sideline. It was on the right side of the field. He, went out of bounds and, fell out, dove or, fell on his knee, and I could tell. I was like, oh, he's fucked.
Yeah. I think because the other tight ends aren't really receiving tight ends, at least in their offensive scheme. So you add a guy that can come in and be vertical for you, at least. I think.
Yeah.
How much he plays kind of depends on how much Laporta's hurt and all that, but all I know
I was always a Brett Selleck guy, so
I like Selleck, but Ertz is my dude. We got the same birthday.
Dude, the Eagles have been so lucky with tight ends.
Yeah.
Brett Selleck, who was actually pretty good. Ertz and then Goddard. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I find it funny though. The man's the true definition of a ring chaser because he's waiting until the conference championship to sign with the team. The game,
who cares?
I mean, if they lose, they lose. But it's the game before. You'd think he'd try to sign at the end of the year or early playoffs, but instead here he is. No, good signing. I like it. I think it'll be good for the Lions if they need him.
I agree. And my last one, sorry. Excuse me. Brian Johnson is not returning to the Eagles.
Oh, not only Brian Johnson, Matt Patricia, Sean Desai, all gone.
And you know who else needs to be gone? Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, I still don't understand that. But
I do. You guys he took you to the Super Bowl the year before and you're going to fire his ass? Okay, dude, I hate him. I hate him. Don't get me wrong. I hate Nick Sirianni. I think he's a retard. Oh, excuse me. I think that he's not. I think that he's not an intelligent
Spread the word to end the
coach.
word. All right.
He's not an intelligent coach. But going back on that, the Eagles are really gonna fire in a row. What's his face? Andy Reid. Chip Kelly was, well, we can all agree he sucked. But you're gonna fire Andy Reid. You're gonna fire Doug Peterson, who won you a Super Bowl, and then Nick Sirianni, who took you to a Super Bowl last year. Like it's like you got to give the guy some time. Give him at least 2 years. It took him 3 years to fire Bill Belichick. Like I know you're not the same level as
Yeah.
that.
I don't know. They had a press conference today, and they asked him like, "What is he doing as a head coach or whatever?" And he's like, "I'm the head coach. Does it mean that I gotta sit, not be in as many offensive meetings? Maybe. Does it mean I need to sit in, or do I need to not sit in offensive meetings all season and sit in more defensive meetings? Maybe. Do I need like I'll be the team basically like I'll be the team culture and all that stuff, and I'll let my offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator basically run the show, but I'm just going to be the puppet here, trying to keep everything together." And I'm like, oh goodness, this is
He's such a dipshit, dude. He is literally like he is. He has the most punchable face in the NFL. Like he's a bad coach. He actually is a bad coach.
yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what happens if we can, because again, just like Doug Peterson with the Super Bowl, and then just like now with competent coordinators, we won the Super Bowl. We made a Super Bowl run. Don't have competent coordinators, and look what happens. So, if we get some competent coordinators, which one of my news is Miami just fired Vic Fangio as defensive coordinator, and as soon as that happened, he's like the number one Eagles target at defensive coordinator. Whatever, I don't know. I don't believe anything until it's signed. So, I wouldn't mind that. Great
No,
defensive
that'd be
mind.
cool.
That'd be good. Like definitely, probably better than Matt Patricia and Sean Desai. So 100%. It's the offensive coordinator that worries me because who knows what we get, and I'm just worried with a lot of it. The other news I have, because I don't think we talked about it last week, or it happened after the podcast, but the Raiders officially signed Antonio Pierce
Yep, that
as,
happened
as
after
the
the
head
pod.
coach. So I like that.
That's good.
I'm glad they kept him. He has the locker room. He went 5-4. Has a winning record as a head coach. Technically, so
Yeah.
figure out that quarterback situation, I guess, because that's a little messy. Is it Aiden O'Connell? Is it going to be somebody else? I have no idea. You got to,
Because didn't they signed Jimmy G to some money though,
yeah.
like a
So then,
decent
trying to
time.
figure out what happens with Jimmy G. You cut him. You got to get that. You have Max Crosby. Go get help on that defensive backfield and stuff. With signing him, I'm less worried that they're going to try to trade Devontae now. Like I think if they can get a competent quarterback and build that defense around Max Crosby, I think Devontae will be happy. But if it was still like Jimmy G or Aiden O'Connell, and you brought in some random random coach like a Ron Rivera or some shit, I think he'd be like, yeah, get me the fuck out of here before the trade deadline. Still, so
You think they're gonna bring in like Russell Wilson or Kirk Cousins or like a
well, I would think you'd go get somebody like that. You'd go get somebody that's been established in the league at least, and I kind of want Russ to go to the Cowboys. Like, I want to see the Dak and Russ swap, but I know it's not going to happen. Jerry's probably all too caught up in, Dak, clearly. But I would like to see that. In terms of quarterback, I imagine Kirk Cousins is going to stay with Minnesota just because he's going to take he's going to take the discount. There's no way you pass that up, right? Like, let's go take a guy that we know, that knows the offense, has been around.
well shit. You're talking about the discount right now. Skinny is like $30 million. Remember when it's $30 million in 2017 once we hired him, or once we signed him for the first time? Everyone's like, "That's a crazy amount of money a year," and that's like the going right now.
Yeah, no, but again, like, I guess he'd take a discount, but it's like, yeah, if you got like somebody like Joe Flacco, he'd probably be cheaper, but he's a little older. and is not going to perform like Kirk Cousins has been. So I like the Raiders. I like the Raiders signing of Pierce. I think it's going to be good for him. Again, tough division. I don't know if you could get Russ from the Broncos just because it's just enter the division and clearly.
I guess I didn't think about that.
But I'm excited to see what this Raiders team does with him and just makes everybody happy because you don't want to lose Devontae Adams. I can tell you that much.
Nope.
But all right, moving into the games this last week. We had the first one Saturday, Ravens 34, Texans 10. Texans' only touchdown was a 67 punt return by Sims. Lamar had 4 total touchdowns, had 152 passing yards, and 100 rushing yards. Complete beatdown. That Ravens team, scary. That defense, scary. They're right now the Ravens are the 49ers are the ones favored to win the Super Bowl, and I don't know how.
The 49ers have a really good team, Skinny. Like,
yeah, but they're not playing at anywhere close to the level that I think the Ravens.
You want to hear the most disrespectful thing I'll say on the podcast?
Oh gosh.
People might get pissed at this. How do I even say this? It's hard to calculate. But if I want someone to win with their arm, I would take Brock Purdy over Lamar, like 1,000%. And I think that Lamar is a hard quarterback to rank because he's like really fast and he does a lot with his legs. But like Brock Purdy might be a better overall maybe not overall, but better.
He's a game manager.
100%.
He literally goes in, does what he needs to do. He doesn't have to do as much as what Lamar has to do, so he doesn't have as much put on his shoulders.
Couldn't you argue that Lamar kind of is, though, in a way? Like, he does do a lot with that offense, but it's like the offense, I guess the run game does go through him, but, like, he does it with his legs. Like, I saw someone say that Lamar put up elite numbers, and I was like, is that elite numbers? Like, that's not what I think of as an elite quarterback numbers. 150 passing yards in a playoff game?
I mean, the biggest thing you have to think about is we're in a whole different type play style of quarterback. Like, he's not Tom Brady sitting in the pocket and never running the ball. He's not Peyton Manning. Like, he's using his legs.
Yeah,
but quarterbacks are using their legs.
Mahomes still. I mean, Mahomes would be up there with
but Mahomes scrambles.
He runs a lot,
but he doesn't when he absolutely has to. Lamar will just break the pocket and fucking break off if he really wants to, which most of the time I'd say probably works out. The biggest thing for the Ravens isn't their offense; it's their defense. Their defense is playing lights out. Like the 49ers.
Yeah.
The first 8 weeks were fucking crazy. And their defense has dropped out. Like, they're getting exposed hard. Aaron Jones was fucking running all over them. The Ravens defense...
Dude, they have, like, probably the best linebacker in the league right now with Roquan Smith. They have, like, one of the best corners in the league, Marvin Humphreys.
And then they have Kyle Hamilton. You have Roquan Smith. You have... Who's their other linebacker?
Patrick Queen.
Yeah, like, they're all over the field.
Dude.
The fact that and when I was watching this game,
didn't they get back Michael Pierce too?
I think they probably do. I don't know.
Yeah, because he went to the Vikings. And I think we bet him. He's really good too.
That game, I thought the Texans after that punt return was gaining some momentum. I'm like, all right, they'll be able to stay in it. 10-10 at halftime. They'll be good. Their over/under projection was like 16.5, and I was like, there's no fucking way. Like, they're gonna get over 17. Get 17 points, and the Ravens did not allow it. I was really shocked by that game. The next Saturday game was 49ers 24, Packers 21. CMC had 98 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Jordan Love had 2 touchdowns and 2 picks.
The Packers pissed it away, dude. They outplayed the 49ers in that game.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly. But
Brock,
I watched the at the end, but like I watched that from like when it was 21 to wasn't it 21 to 7 at one point?
I couldn't tell you.
No, it was 21 to 14 and they had the ball, the Packers had the ball in their hand. Jordan Love threw a pick, his first pick,
Yeah.
and threw second pick. Yeah. I was like, Jesus Christ, they're going to come in. The Packers are going to come in here and do that. That's a rough one for the Packers fans and everything, but the 49ers I just don't think are like comparatively. I feel like they're a beatable. They've always been a beatable team. They're not going to win the Super Bowl because of Kirk Cousins' curse. Because there ain't no way
Well,
that
the
someone's going
Packers
to beat
clearly
Kirk.
aren't anymore. You know, they're out of the curse, and now what's left is the Niners. Yeah, I did not expect Aaron Jones to come in and be able to run the ball like he did against them. You know, he was breaking off.
He ran it.
10 plus yards multiple times. I was like, I was shocked. Brock Purdy did not look good until like the very end. Like when he had to, he did what he needed to do. He made the passes he needed to make. You know, those type of things. But like for the majority of the game, it was short passes. He lost Debo, so you know, again, Debo is a very significant wide receiver on that team. But like, yeah, it very beatable if you can. I think the big one is if you can play. They want to play fast on both sides of the ball. They have the speed to do that. If you can slow the game down and control it to your tempo, I think you're fine. The Packers, I mean, on the bright side, the Packers have a bright future. Jordan Love has looked way better than it.
Oh yeah, youngest team in the NFL.
You go get like Christian Watson. You know, he was injured, kind of wasn't around. Is he the real deal? You don't know. Maybe go get yourself an actually like experienced wide receiver with that young core. Go get yourself a Mike Evans, or you know, maybe not Mike Evans, but like go get yourself a guy that maybe you can get a little cheaper, older guy, veteran, been around, that can help Jordan Love for one, and then like defensive, you're most likely going to lose Alexander, so it sounds like he's done with Green Bay. But yeah, promising future with the Packers on that offense, and then but yeah, his two picks, those, you know, that last one, just so unnecessary. Could have thrown it away, could have done whatever, but instead throws a terrible pass.
It's too bad because he's been playing lights out.
Yeah, I agree. Sunday's game, very good game. Lions 31. I think all the games are pretty good besides the Ravens-Texans blowout, I guess. Lions 31, Bucks 23. Baker threw for 349, 3 touchdowns. He had 2 interceptions. Jahmyr Gibbs had 9 carries for 74 yards and 1 touchdown. Lions team's looking pretty legit.
Yeah, I watched. That was the game that I was most interested in. Baker was okay. He wasn't bad. It seemed like that defense wasn't gelling very well, or that offense wasn't gelling very well, and the Lions just came to play. I mean, they just. I'm pretty sure Amon-Ra had a decent game.
I feel like all of them, everybody did. I mean,
Jared Goff was slinging the rock.
The 2 Reynolds guys that nobody would ever, nobody's like, oh, they're going to score touchdowns.
Greg Reynolds and Josh Reynolds had their fucking moment.
Laporta, Gibbs.
That team's gelling. What's his face? The Alabama wide receiver is really Jameson Williams.
Yeah,
he's come on. He's looked pretty good, sure-handed a couple times, and I was like, he's not really that kind of guy in college.
Yeah,
he's a deep threat guy, but he's done well like that.
The only thing that worries me is they were getting beat by Mike Evans all game. So that's going to be something. Clearly, the 49ers don't have a Mike Evans type wide receiver. Debo's decent, but like Debo's no Mike Evans, and Brandon Ayuk's could be a deep ball threat, but he's no Mike Evans. So
he's not. Yeah, no.
That'll help out.
Mike Evans, where's he going to go next year?
I don't know. I want to.
Is it out of the realm of possibilities that he stays in Tampa?
I don't think he stays in Tampa. I want to see him with, like, the Chiefs. Like I like Patty Mahomes with him. Travis Kelce's on the decline. I just feel like him and Mahomes would be fucking unstoppable.
That's like having two Travis Kelce's on your team.
But he's faster and way better at jumping for the ball. Like, and Travis Kelce's on the decline. It's not like Travis has been the same Travis. It's not like next year Travis is gonna, like, I think Mike Evans will be perfectly fine, especially if he has Patty Mahomes.
I was scared this year drafting Travis Kelce because it's like I don't want to be the guy to draft Travis Kelce on the down year. And I drafted Travis Kelce on the down year.
Still kind of panned out.
But yeah, I mean, I got it second.
That game was kind of weird though because the Bucks had one timeout. There was like 30-some seconds left. The Lions on third down knee the ball too early. So the Bucks could have taken a timeout with like 30 seconds left. Force the Lions to kick a field goal. If they make it, then clearly, the game's over. But you force them to kick and have to make it, Like, I don't know. Feel like if I'm Todd Bowles, I would have called the timeout and been like, all right, let's force them to kick a field goal. Otherwise, we have potentially 20 seconds to get the ball back. And if you watch the end of the first half, they scored pretty fucking quick, just throwing the ball to Mike Evans down the fucking field. So,
yeah. NFL's rigged, confirmed.
See, I can't say rigged anymore because I don't think it's rigged or scripted. I think it's heavily influenced by reffing and other outside factors. But yeah, it was kind of odd to me. You're down literally a touchdown and a 2-point vert. Just make him kick. Who knows if he makes it? But
Todd Bowles is like, I won a Super Bowl as a coordinator. It's okay.
Lastly, last game, Chiefs 27, Bills 24. Travis Kelce had his playoff game that I think everybody was waiting for of 2 touchdowns. Big thing that for that game that stood out to me was Josh Allen trying to play hero ball on the last couple plays and forcing 2 25-plus yard passes downfield to the end zone when he had Stephon Diggs on a drag route wide the fuck open.
Okay, but that's Josh Allen every time.
I know.
Josh Allen, like...
To me, him and... Diggs says that he's going to be in Buffalo and all this, and, like, I don't see it happening.
Ain't no way.
Him and Josh Allen just do not click. I don't know what it is about it, but, like, he's been throwing those drags to, like, his tight ends and his, like, third-string receivers, but when Diggs does it, he doesn't even fucking look at it. Like, I would be looking at Stephon Diggs on a drag route, 3 to 4 yards, on a 2nd and 9, all the fucking day, than a bomb over bad quarterback play.
Diggs has his peaks. Here's the thing why I like Diggs, but here's the thing why I never was that high on Diggs is because Diggs does not show up for big games. Diggs does not make the big catches. That's why I was always a Thielen guy.
Yeah, well,
because once it came down to it, you know who made the big catches? Adam Thielen. You know who got all the credit and all the fame and everything from Minnesota? Diggs. The only big catch he came up was with the Minneapolis Miracle, and I swear to God, dude, that was the most rigged play I've ever seen because the fact that Marcus Williams didn't just hit him in any way, he like lowered the shoulder and like totally missed him. Like, I don't know, that was dumb.
Yeah, I guess coming up big.
Greatest play in Minnesota history.
Yeah, that's true. I guess coming up big is true because Stephon Diggs did drop that, like, was going to be, like a 70-yard pass or something like that. Just lost it.
Dude, he is not that guy.
I don't know. But it was just odd to me that 2 back-to-back plays, you're forcing it downfield. Like, you have plenty of time to still score. You just need the first down. Josh Allen, in his mind, somebody should have been like, look for the short routes. Like, somebody needed to be in his head because he wanted to play hero ball. Because what's better? Oh, let's get this first down. Let's get this first down that nobody's ever going to talk about in terms of getting the first down. Or I throw this 25-yard pass to go up and leave Patty Mahomes, what was it been, like a minute or so left, like potential game winner.
Yeah.
So it was bad play by Josh Allen, and that's kind of one of the things that
I get it, but you know what though? Those kickers are made to make field goals. Like
oh yeah,
they're getting paid to do that, and like it's not all on that one play, but like, dude, you came and played against the Kansas City Chiefs. I know that the Chiefs had kind of a down year, but they're in the fucking divisional or the conference championship game. Like it's like
what is it, 7 straight years now?
it's not, yeah, something crazy because Patrick Mahomes is legit. So it. What are you gonna do? That's a hard team to play against. It's a hard team to win against. Like even once they kind of sucked this year and they had a down year, and Patty Mahomes isn't the clear cut MVP, he's still fucking Patty Mahomes.
Yeah,
Like he has been the whole time.
yeah.
Like
And that's the
he
shitty
like
part. It's hard to bet against him. It really is.
I've said that, and I picked Buffalo, and I shouldn't have because I always say you can't beat against you cannot bet against the Chiefs. And I hope the Chiefs make it for the AFC. I really do. Fuck the Ravens. I don't like
the Chiefs.
the Ravens.
I'm tired of seeing the Chiefs. It's literally the second coming of the Patriots, and I don't want to fucking deal with that. I like to see fresh new teams all the fucking time. Like it's more.
I don't care.
It's more enjoyable to watch.
No, it is not the same as the Patriots. It's not even close.
But
there's too much fucking
7 fucking straight Super Bowl appearance or AFC appearances right now. Like
yeah,
I'd like to see other teams.
Dude,
finally fucking break
Brady.
that.
Tom Brady shits on the NFL now. Have you ever heard him talk about it? How he's like, it sucks. He's right, though. He's 100% right about it because these people, like, here's why it doesn't matter. Like, Patrick Mahomes might go down as, he might win 9 Super Bowls. He's like that. He's that good. Like, he is really good. But, and it's hard because you don't have the caliber of play that you used to have. So like Brady versus Manning, I don't think that we'll see that in a long time because no one else is at that caliber. I love Joe Burrow, but even Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is probably at that level, but no one else is really at that level. Like, who's the second best quarterback in the NFL? Honestly, like that's an honest question. Who is the second best quarterback in the NFL? Like, are you going to tell me it's fucking Lamar Jackson?
Yeah,
like, are you high?
Yeah, you could make arguments for quite a bit of people. I mean,
you could say Josh Allen. I hate him, but you could say I don't hate him, but I hate him because of you. But Jalen Hurts, like you could say Jalen Hurts. You could say
Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers still technically like.
Fuck, like honestly, how all these quarterbacks play and what they've done in their careers, like why couldn't you say Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
Why couldn't you say Matthew Stafford? Like really honestly, no one has done shit in their career or done anything that like makes you think, hey, we have a really good couple quarterbacks. Plus the players are undisciplined and once you used to see a player drop a ball, like they used to be like, I'm going on a rant now, but fuck it.
No,
we got time to kill. But you used to see a player drop a pass in the NFL. There used to be disgust on him. Like there used to be like, this is my job to do that. Now you see CeeDee Lamb, who I think is a great player, drop a pass and it's like no big deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree.
And it's not like that mindset of like, oh, next play, I'm going to make it better. Like it's like we are getting a worse product in the NFL right now than we used to get. Like whether that's because it's too big money, whether that's because everyone's sports gambling, maybe people don't care, whatever it is, but like the NFL needs to figure that out. I know that we were supposed to talk about something there, but there's money in it, but we're getting a worse product. Like
think about it.
Besides
you work a little harder at the beginning to make some money. Like Jordan Love is expected to get some crazy ass contract. One good season.
I bet he will.
One good season.
I bet he will.
Been a backup for the last 4 years. One good season, and now he's expected to get some crazy ass good contract. Like other quarterback, it just. I agree.
This year, if you've seen anything, we've got a worse product in football. Like it's been
Well, yeah, I mean, just look at the MVP conversation. Literally none of the quarterbacks that are in MVP conversation should even be in MVP. Like, on a normal year, would never be in the MVP talk. Like, that's why I've been 100% like, CMC literally
CMC.
is the MVP this year and rightfully deserves it. But
Even CMC though, think about it. Like when Adrian Peterson did what he did and rushed for over 2,000 yards and had 12 touchdowns and I think he had 2,500 all-purpose yards or 2,400, whatever he had. Peyton Manning did really good that year. You know who else did really good that year? Probably Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and
yeah,
Big Ben and whoever 2011. So whoever else was in the league, maybe Cam Newton. That was pretty close to prime Cam Newton. Like you had all these quarterbacks and all these players that did really well. I watched Adrian Peterson that year. He didn't break the rushing record. Go back and watch that. That was the most dominant running year I've ever seen a running back do. I don't care who it is. You can put it against any era. That dude was running through everyone. And CMC's a great player. And CMC's probably going to end up being a top 10, maybe top 5 back. But, he's not Adrian Peterson. We don't have players of that caliber. It's just the NFL's – it's almost is it weird that I feel like the NFL's lacking talent? Or maybe it's not talent, maybe it's effort. Maybe it's – I don't know what, but
Well, I mean, the one thing now is with running backs, it's like, if you're not going to pay me, why would I put up, if you're not going to pay me star caliber money and you're gonna pay me the same amount no matter what I do, in a sense, I don't know. I think the amount of money people are making clearly has an impact. If I'm making $50 million and I have that for the next 4 years, first of all, my first NFL contract of the, let's say your mid-first round pick of $20 million fully guaranteed, that's already fucking life-changing money as it is. If you were smart and good with it, that's generational wealth. If you were...
Oh, it should be.
Yeah.
It should be, at least.
If you were a first-round pick, you should never have to worry about money again. And it's different because back in the day, when you made that, you were getting your first-round money, a lot of these guys were going broke, but they weren't as financially responsible as people are nowadays. It's completely shifted.
Yeah.
But back then, you were leaving it all on the field. You didn't, your money was yours to spend, whatever. But now you get that $32 million, and then you're getting a 4-year deal worth $250 million. Well, fuck. You could put up 10 touchdowns and 30 interceptions in the season, which you'd probably get benched before even doing that. But you're gonna get paid no matter fucking what. So you want to win, you want to be the best or whatever. But at the same time, it's I'm still getting my money. Everybody's like, oh, people don't, money's not everything. I'd rather be doing this deep down. Everybody is about that. If you're making the bag, you're going to care about your bag more than winning the championship. If push comes to shove, that's how it goes. So, yeah, I agree. It's watered down, and I don't think that's ever going to change because every year it seems like we're getting, with the TV deals, everything like that, fuck, Netflix just bought Monday Night Raw for $5 billion. The rights to have that. It's
What?
Yeah. To stream it.
Really?
Yeah. For 10 years, $5 billion. Money's just going to keep going up. So people are competing.
Why would they want Monday Night Raw? Who's still watching WWE? God, let's become a WWE podcast, dude. We'll talk about Attitude Era. You ever watch WWE?
Dude, I barely paid. I've gone to the events and the shit. I still pay attention a little bit, but I don't really watch it. But but all right, end of the quarter.
Dude, back in the day,
yeah.
No, back in the day, that shit used to be awesome, dude. Make WWE great again. Make football great again.
Yeah. All right, quarter number 2. So you know what that starts off with.
Number 2.
Bad betting.
Terrible betting. Terrible betting.
Started off hot with the first 6 games, went 5-1. This last week we went 2-2, so still over 500 or 500 or greater. Didn't go negative. So overall in the playoffs we are 7-3. This week Marcus and I decided to go with the underdogs in both games. It's hard to bet against Mahomes, so we're going to go Chiefs plus 3.5. And we're going to take the Lions plus 7. You know, it's like that Cinderella story. Like,
dude, that's the Super Bowl I want. Like, not even like close to it. That is what I want to watch. You know, I do not. I tell you one thing. I don't want to watch Ravens and 49ers. Like, that's going to be a Super Bowl. That's the Super Bowl that I put the pong table in the background. I'll be playing pong because I don't care.
You know, if the Chiefs and Lions make the Super Bowl, you want to know what it'll be like the first time ever of happening?
2 back-to-back first seeds winning. What?
Lions weren't the first seed. It'll be the first time, I think, ever that the first game.
The Chiefs and Lions?
The first game of the year is the last game of the year.
Dude. Are we going to make this into a stat, too? They're going to be like, this is the first time that the first game of the year on a Thursday is going to end on Super Bowl Sunday.
Isn't that crazy, though? The first game of the year.
No. Skinny, these stats are not crazy.
I know, but that's a crazy-ass thing. The first game of the year could potentially be the last game of the year type thing. Like,
no, Skinny.
I don't know.
Fuck that. That's part of the issue. That's part of the issue.
Okay, but, like, it's not like, oh, God, that's such a cool, like, huge... It's just like, that's kind of like... It's kind of
that was like the stat that you told me. That was like exactly like the stat that you told me. This year, CMC was the first player to ever lead the league in rushing and have the exact same amount of rushing yards as the year it is.
Total yards.
He had 2,000 in total yards. 2024. What wasn't that what he had or something like that?
2023. But yeah. All right. So if you do those two, it's a small little parlay. So you can bet more if you want to, if you do it, or whatever, individuals, whatever you're doing with your life. $10 only pays you out about $27, $26. So bet more, bet little, do whatever you want. That's on me. For miscellaneous, we're just bringing in some topics of the football world. Couple different things. Marcus, why don't we start off with your first one?
Who is the best dual threat quarterback in the NFL right now?
Who would you say?
Oh, it's not even a question. Kirk Cousins.
I had 4.
No, I kid.
I have 4 guys that you could argue in that category. Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Justin Fields.
Okay. Josh Allen. And here's why. He's a better passer than all of them. And he scored more rushing touchdowns than Jalen Hurts this year, did he not?
I think they're the same. Like, they're pretty damn close.
But, like, the difference between him and Jalen Hurts, dude, like, it wasn't on QB sneaks, dude. He was fucking running. Like, at 20 yards in, Josh Allen, the stats had to be like a 25% chance that he'd run in a rushing touchdown because, dude, he was scoring all the time. I had him in fantasy, and it was like from like week 10 on, he scored like a rushing touchdown each game. It was crazy.
Yeah, so I wrote down those 4, like all their stats. I did the last 2 years. I felt like I was gonna.
Let's hear. I want to hear.
I was gonna go the last 3 years, but I did the last 2 just because Justin Fields didn't really start his first year. So, Jalen Hurts. So Josh Allen has played every game. 33. Jalen Hurts 32. Lamar's at 28, and Fields is also at 28 games. So clearly, Lamar and Justin are going to have a little bit. They could have a little bit better stats. So, as a passer,
It's got to be Allen by far.
So I did percentage, yards, touchdowns, interceptions. So percentage, Jalen Hurts has the best passing percentage at 66%. And then it goes Allen at 64.9, Lamar at 64.8. So last 2 years, that kind of shocked me. That Josh Allen and
That's
Lamar.
better than I. It's better than I thought it would be for Lamar Jackson, to be honest.
Yeah.
Go
And then
ahead.
Justin Fields was at 60.9, which I believe that.
That's shit.
Yardage.
Shit.
Yardage, Josh Allen clears them 85, almost 8,600. Jalen Hurts is at 75. Lamar's at 59, and Justin Fields at 48. So you can definitely tell Josh Allen's gunslinging it. So I didn't look at attempts.
Yeah.
I guess I probably should have looked at that too, maybe. Or yards per game or something. But yeah, like he's got 1,000 more than Hurts in one more game. So not much of a significant difference there. Passing touchdowns, Lamar's had 41. Josh Allen's had 64. Jalen's had 45, and Fields has had 33. So, again, Josh Allen leading 2 of the 3 categories so far. Now, interceptions. Josh Allen's had 32. Jalen Hurts has had 21. Justin Fields has had 20, and Lamar's had 14. So, yeah. Josh Allen
leading another category.
Yeah, leads 3 of the categories. 2 of them actually kind of matter. Yeah, I would say Josh Allen is probably number 1, and number 2 is a kind of like I'm going to lean towards the Jalen Hurts side more just because of things.
I would too, but because I feel like so Lamar. Let's be real. Lamar is the worst passer in this whole group.
Yeah, I mean,
like I would take Justin Fields passing the ball over Lamar Jackson passing the ball. Rushing the ball, I don't know, because that's a toss up. Like,
yeah, rushing.
Is it weird that like, why is it weird that like Lamar is better than Justin Fields, but I feel like Justin Fields is better at passing the ball and possibly rushing the ball. So why is he better though?
You ready for
just
this?
Because he's on a better.
You ready for the rushing numbers?
Yeah.
This actually like shocked the hell out of me. So, rushing yards the last 2 seasons, Justin Fields at 1,800. Lamar's at 1,585. Jalen Hurts is at 1,365. Josh Allen's at 1,286.
Okay, makes sense.
Touchdowns. Jalen Hurts is 28. Allen's got 22. Fields has 12, and Lamar only has 8.
Like, statistically speaking, Jalen Hurts has a worse team. Or not Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields has a worse team. He has a worse defense, worse coaching, worse everything. Like, is Justin Fields better than Lamar Jackson? Question mark. Like,
The biggest thing that stands out here is I also did fumbles because I did interceptions. I wanted to look at the fumbles. Clearly not every fumble's from rushing. It's also, strip sacks, all that type of shit. But Lamar has 26, or Justin Fields has 26 fumbles in 2 seasons. The next one is Allen at 20. Jalen Hurts has 18, and Lamar has 16. So 26 fumbles in 2 seasons
that's a fuck ton.
Yeah. Like, again, there's not all just clearly runs. Those are strip sacks and things like that happen. But yeah, I mean, looking at the numbers, Justin Fields is like very comparable to Lamar in the exact same amount of games.
That's for Bears fans, like that would make me happy. For Ravens fans, I'd be like, holy shit.
And then
it's like Lamar's into this picture.
Yeah, like
now he's played decent, but
for me, out of these 4, I'd probably go Allen, Hurts, Fields, Lamar. Like that's kind of how I'm feeling. Like, you got 2 guys that are putting up big numbers in both categories. You got the guy that is significantly a little bit worse than the passing, but he makes up for it in the running game, and then vice versa. You know, like Lamar is like literally like average, literally just to me the most like average at both of them. You know, like slightly better at running than he is passing, but like very average in terms of what you would...
on this list.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like,
I mean, compared to like yeah, you compare him to other guys, clearly he's going to put up better numbers.
We're talking about the elite rushing quarterbacks and throwing quarterbacks for some of them.
Yeah, I would definitely say Josh Allen is probably the best.
Yeah, he's
quarterback, at least over the last 2 years. If we went deeper, because clearly him, Lamar, and Jalen Hurts have like you could go 3 years back with Hurts, you could go even further with Lamar.
You get far enough back that Lamar Jackson had his MVP year, but even then, like Josh Allen, that's like a regular for him to throw 40 touchdowns, 35 plus.
He's all but his first 2 years, I think, he's thrown over 4,000 passing yards. So
yeah,
I would have to say Josh Allen.
I'm glad you got the stats because that was interesting to think about.
I'm the stat boy. All right,
You're the stat boy now.
All right, so
go ahead.
One of mine is I did best rookie quarterback season. Like C.J. Stroud had a spectacular season. Does he fit the
Do you have numbers on this too?
Oh, I have numbers for six of the quarterbacks rookie seasons that you think of like as like some of the best. I have C.J. Stroud's
before okay, say the names and I'll
C.J. Stroud's, Big Ben, Cam Newton, RG3, Russell Wilson, Andrew Luck.
You know who I'm gonna say? Statistically and watching it on paper, RG3. I watched RG3's rookie year in 2000. What it was 11. I think it was 11 or 12.
12.
RG3,
Russ, and Andrew Luck are all 2012.
Yeah, whoever it was. Russ was good. Andrew Luck was good too. By far. Did you put Baker in there too?
No, because he was more like 5 to 10. I kind of included like the guys that I would like, because I didn't do this off the top of my head. I wasn't like, oh, these guys like.
Oh, you looked at it? Yeah.
Like, I looked it up and kind of saw what other people... Because, like, I know these guys all had good rookie seasons, but, like, I didn't know the stats or, like, what other people thought. Like, Dan Marino's on there, but Dan Marino didn't start right away. So, like, I didn't include him.
Yeah, by far, I'm pretty sure... You can tell me if I'm right. I'm pretty sure... Robert Griffin III had, like, 26 touchdowns, like four or six interceptions, and like he had to have been pushing like 800 rushing yards.
So out of those six, he had the second highest completion percentage at 65.6. He had 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 815 rushing yards, and 7 touchdowns.
So 27 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, basically.
I didn't look at fumbles, but he only had 3,200 passing yards. He had 2 game-winning drives. So, like, I wrote down, like, a lot of things to kind of look at. Like, you also have to think about, like, what did they do with the playoffs, too? Like, Big Ben didn't fucking lose a game. Did not lose a game. That's fucking insane. Think about a rookie quarterback not losing a single fucking game you start. That's impressive as hell. The thing that sucks for him is he only had 2,600 passing yards, 17 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. But
different time period.
Yeah, he also did have 5 game-winning drives. That's what, like, when it comes to this list, what do you value more? To me, out of the 6, Andrew Luck almost has the worst rookie season. Even though
he did, but you got to think of who he had though.
Yeah, I know.
He didn't even have T.Y. Hilton. Then I don't think if he did, it was rookie T.Y. Hilton, and then he had fucking the corpse of Reggie Wayne.
Yeah.
The corpse of Reggie Wayne. A team that was just who was his fucking running back? Amon Bradshaw? I don't fucking know who it was. fucking Donald, whatever the fuck his name was. Like, he had a really bad team, and that defense wasn't good. Like, that Colts team sucked.
Yeah,
Russ.
I guess you'd also have to kind of look back at like the expectations. Like C.J. Stroud with the Texans,
Yeah.
they were probably projected to win. What I'd have to look at it, but like probably like 5 games, 6 games,
Yeah.
maybe not make the playoffs. Like Russ went 11-5, 3,100 yards, 26 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 489 rushing yards, had 4 game-winning drives. The biggest thing that I kind of looked at too was their wins, like overall wins. Like the most wins that anybody had against playoff teams. Like I wanted to see like playoff team, winning teams. 3. CJ Stroud had 3, Big Ben had 3, Russ had 3, and Andrew Luck had 3. RG3 and Cam Newton both had 1. Were you beating good teams? So, to me,
to be fair though, at the time though, the Redskins,
oh yeah,
were in that was still a tough division then. Like, you still had Dream Team going on. I mean, the Cowboys. Let's be real. The Cowboys can't do anything in the playoffs because they're the least clutch team in NFL history since the '90s. But they still had Tony Romo. They still had Des Bryant. Then they still had Miles Austin. They still had all that. The Eagles were pretty good. The Giants, Eli Manning, dude. Eli Manning won a Super Bowl in 2010. Like,
yeah.
They still had a bunch of dudes up there.
I'm gonna.
Or maybe it was 12.
I think my top 3 would be RG3. I think Stroud deserves the number 2 at least, just with expectations. Everything. Like, he balled the fuck out, and nobody expected it.
Yeah, he did.
And then I'd probably say the Big Ben's my number 3. Dude went 13-0. It's hard to I don't care about some of those other stats, but like to go 13-0 as a starter, let alone as a rookie starter, very fucking impressive.
But he didn't win the Super Bowl till his second year, right?
Yeah, he lost. He won. Stroud won a playoff game. I don't remember if one of the other ones did too, but
I don't think RG3 did. Ben might have.
Yeah,
the Steelers were good though, dude.
Yeah.
They had all the pieces there. They still had Jerome Bettis. They still had Hines Ward. Tommy Maddox was the quarterback then, but they still had a really good defense.
Yeah, to me it goes RG3, Stroud, Big Ben. I'm probably gonna have to put Cam Newton up there just because the motherfucker went
Dude,
crazy.
Cam had a good rookie year.
Cam, I'd go Russ, then I'd go Andrew Luck. That's how I would view it.
I agree. Honestly, unpopular opinion, I put Baker Mayfield over Andrew Luck.
Well, you also Baker Mayfield, Justin Herbert. Like, these are guys that were, Justin Herbert now has the rookie record for passing touchdowns. Is that not going to be, how much of that not a good record? But yeah,
dude, RG3 though, his rookie year, especially the time, we didn't see a quarterback run like that.
Yeah.
Could run that good and pass that good. Like, RG3 was crazy.
And to go 9-6
I remember him
in
running
that division.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's always a tough division. Even once they suck, it's still tough. It's always close.
What's your next topic, Marcus? The hammer?
I have one that you're not ready for because I didn't tell you. I forgot to tell you this. But who's the best wide receiver in the NFL right now?
Oh, Justin Jefferson.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Justin Jefferson.
I think that
10 games, 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
This year though, okay, who is the best wide receiver this year? We'll say that.
Oh, this year?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's up for a debate on a lot of them. Because I don't have any other stats pulled up.
I'll tell you who 100%.
Who?
CeeDee Lamb.
That was one of the guys I was thinking of, but
I would take, honestly, this year, if I had to take a wide receiver, I'd take CeeDee Lamb over Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill had more yards by 50 yards. I believe CeeDee Lamb had 20 more catches. And touchdowns, I think Tyreek may had 2 more or whatever. But CeeDee Lamb was a fucking stud this year. And he was routing people the fuck up. And then other than that, like, who else are you going to throw on there? Amon Ra's way, way down there. He's probably third, but he's down by like a couple, 300, 400 yards. And then Puka, I don't know, it drops off real quick. But I got to say, CD had a killer year for the Cowboys. And honestly, on a team that has some weapons.
Yeah, let me look here.
You look. Tyreek had, 1,699? Am I right? Or no, 1,799 or 1,899, something like that. He had a lot of yards.
He had
like after that,
135 catches, 1749 yards, 12 touchdowns, 13 yards per catch, and then he would run. Yeah, Amon-Ra was at 15. He also had He also had 17 or 16 less catches. So 16 times 12, what's that? 2, 7.
Amon-Ra missed a couple games too.
One less game.
Yeah.
So
would he have made that up? Probably not.
Yeah, so
I mean, he could have. It's Amon-Ra though.
what was I doing? Oh, for his catches.
Hill
Times.
had more yards.
So it's almost
less catches.
So it'd almost be very comparable. Like if he had 16 catches based off his yards per catch, he'd be right around the 1,700 mark. So very comparable. In one game, does he make up 16 catches? Probably not. Probably like half of that, but still. I think I'm
maybe.
I would probably say CD. I mean, the biggest thing is the team scheme him. The Cowboys did a good job at scheming him the correct way. Last year,
that's Milton's favorite player too, CeeDee Lamb.
Last year, we didn't get that as much. They weren't scheming him the right way, and when they did it, he was very successful. Guys like AJ Brown, the Eagles did a terrible job at scheming. Like the fact that man even put up the amount of yards that he did, I'm first off shocked, but.
He fell off though. He was going off through week 10.
They weren't scheming him. They didn't scheme him. You got to be able to scheme. Tyreek Hill gets schemed. Amon-Ra gets schemed. Mike Evans gets schemed. You scheme your best offense, your best wide receivers, and when you're not scheming your,
you don't have to scheme JJ because JJ is the scheme, bro.
Dude. JJ half the time you just fucking throw him the ball and it's like it works out. But the biggest thing this year too was you had to respect Addison. I think it wouldn't. JJ's clearly good. I think JJ's again the best wide receiver in the league. But if you didn't have a guy if you had KJ Osborne as your number 2, JJ does not put up 1,000 yards in 10 games. That's just like,
dude. Addison, was Addison the right pick?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's legit.
Like
he's legit. He's good.
And props to the Vikings because I thought Quentin Johnston. I thought he was going to be spectacular and was not. But
not even close.
If JJ has a number 2 like KJ Osborne, and then you guys have Powell as your you guys don't have a guy like Addison that was able to step up and show he probably could be a number 1 eventually, type thing. I don't think JJ puts up the numbers he does just because you can focus on him a lot more, especially with how your fucking run game was just ass. But yeah, I would say JJ is currently the best wide receiver in the league, but this year CD I think was way better. Tyreek Hill started off great, had some injuries, fell off. CD was good from start to finish.
Consistent, yeah.
I would
he started out slow.
Amon-Ra,
He played all the.
Amon-Ra, he's probably right there too.
Fuck, you got to put Puka in there this year
Yeah,
because Puka for having what's his face back Cooper Cup, he's still fucking
yeah.
he's good.
Like if you had to rank it,
Rookie receiving
you'd
record.
probably have to go CD. You got to pay respects to Tyreek still, and then there's probably Amon-Ra and
I'm
Puka.
on that.
Yeah, Amon-Ra.
Yeah. Oh, that's by far the
And
top
then
four, and
number
then after
five,
that,
you can. It'd probably be
maybe
it'd
JJ,
probably be
maybe
JJ
AJ
or
Brown.
AJ Brown probably. But yeah, I would say CD. That's
I would say
definitely
CD. Too good this year. You got another one?
well, yeah. So Mel Kiper released his updated draft board after everything that's kind of happened over the last couple weeks. I don't have the full one because I don't have ESPN Plus or whatever because that's the only way you could fucking access it. Like I had a couple lists, but like some of them I didn't like them. He's got Caleb Williams 1, Jaden Daniels 2, which Jaden Daniels huge increase from what he had been going. Like he'd been down there a little bit. Drake May number 3, Marvin Harrison Jr. number 4, Brock Bowers number 5, Malik Neighbors number 6, and then like after this, the ones that I have, it kind of like changes things. Rome Aduza from Washington, Dunze, he's number 9. Brian Thompson Jr., wide receiver, number 14. Kean Coleman from Florida State, number 15. J.J. McCarthy, number 16. Donnie Mitchell, 128, and Troy Franklin, 129. First off,
Why'd you skip 11? That's the most important pick.
I told you I don't have them all because I don't fucking have ESPN Plus. First
That's
off,
terrible.
Caleb Williams should not be number 1. I don't give a shit what people say.
No, please let him be number 1. Please let him be.
It should be number 1. I do agree with Jaden Daniels moving up over Drake May because again I don't even think Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Penix Jr. are probably the 3 better quarterbacks.
Best quarterbacks in the draft.
Yeah. And the fact that Bo Nix isn't even on this, I don't think. He has 4 quarterbacks going in the first round. Penix Jr. and Bo Nix are not on that list.
That's okay. That's what I want.
But isn't that crazy?
Dude, if we could get Penix Jr. in the second round, 11th pick in the second round, Skinny, do you know how fucking high on the world I'd be?
It's just so crazy to me. And then like JJ McCarthy is over Penix Jr. The 2 quarterbacks besides Jaden Daniels that balled the fuck out this year and shown that they can win games and be big in big moments. JJ McCarthy's on the fucking list to go top 10 or top 16, 17, 16. What? I do not look at JJ McCarthy as a quarterback and like I'm going to take him over Bo Nix and Penix Jr. I don't give. He got like.
You know what kind of caliber quarterback he reminds me of? Remember the Alabama quarterback in like 2012? AJ
Oh,
McCarron?
the Battlehawks, baby. AJ McCarron,
Yeah.
Battlehawks.
Tell me that's not a good comparison for the caliber of quarterback you
Yeah,
think he is.
I can definitely see that. I just wins a championship getting valued way too much. It was the run game. Like
Dude, he's the epitome of a third round pick quarterback.
yeah,
He is the epitome of a third round pick
He
quarterback.
should not
yeah.
be going anything. Seeing him in the first round is so disrespectful because, and the thing is, like Mel Kiper, what was it like? God, Mel Kiper's been doing this for what, like 30 years now plus or something like that. Back in the day, it was like, who is this guy? Like, why is it?
Wait, wasn't it the ex Raiders GM?
No, Colts. I think it was the Colts.
No, I thought he did. No, Mel Kiper. It wasn't the Colts because what's his face? Jim Irsay said, "Who the hell is Mel Kiper?" I thought someone hired him as the. I thought the Raiders hired him as the head coach, or not head coach, GM for like a couple years, and he got fired because he drafted like Clinton Farrell at like third overall, and then Max Crosby was like the only good player in that draft.
No, I don't think he's ever been a GM in the last couple of years.
Who was it?
I don't know.
There was someone.
Mel
Mike
Kiper's
Murdoch,
the guy.
like
Mel Kiper is the guy that's.
I know who he is.
Yeah,
The guy with the glasses
Yeah.
and the fucking weird hair.
yeah. He's the one that like everybody goes to for like rankings and shit. You know, like
You got to look at who was Jamie. Jamie, look it up. Who was the Raiders GM once? What's his face he was a draft guy once. Skylar's least favorite, John Gruden. John Gruden. Is it Mike Madoff? Like one of them was fucking something.
yeah, Mike Mayock, 2019 to 2021. Reggie McKenzie from 2012 to 2018.
So it was Mike Madoff who was the fucking guy because he was another draft guy.
Yeah, but
Clinton Farrell, dude.
hey, he's on the what fucking team was it the 49ers?
Yeah, I think he is on the 49ers.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
But yeah,
He shouldn't be.
this is the worst out of all the couple of years. This is the worst list I've seen Mel Kiper come out with.
Who the hell's Mel Kiper?
I'm gonna get we're gonna get a picture of you in a shirt that says "Who the hell's Mel Kiper?"
We should. Yeah, it's a bad year. I don't know. Dude, Penix, like, is it bad for me to think that Penix might be the best quarterback in that draft?
To me, he showed it.
I might be way, way over Penix Jr., but, like, dude, I feel like Penix just has the it factor. I really do.
I feel like the age is playing a way too big a part because both Nix and Penix have both been in the, have been around longer.
Yeah, they're 24 years old. Yeah.
But, like,
compared to, like, Caleb Williams, 22, 23?
Yeah. Like, a year or two difference, it doesn't make much of a difference when you want to.
No.
When you're going to draft these quarterbacks to come in and expect them to win, I'm going to take the more experienced guy that probably is going to be able to help me win more games than a guy that still has a little bit of growing to do. Like, in terms.
Dude, Caleb Williams, the epitome of, like, I think that he's talented. I think that he'll put up okay numbers, and I think he'll have, like, a good, like, last year of his contract. They'll give him the freaking bag, and then he'll become, like, Antonio Brown 2.0.
He's going to, like, the situation that's coming in to be? Kyler Murray. Super hyped up, going to be the number one. No.
Worse.
Ooh.
I think he's worse. Here's the thing about Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray plays too many damn video games or whatever. I think Caleb Williams is a worse cancer to a locker room than Kyler Murray. I really believe that. Kyler Murray, like, the Cardinals should be ecstatic because at least he showed something this year. Like, they did decent for what they have. Like, Kyler Murray kind of changed his perception this year after being hurt or whatever. Caleb Williams, I would be scared. I really would. If the Vikings fucking draft him, if he falls and we draft him, I swear to God, dude, I'm not doing the podcast the week after. If we get Caleb Williams, I will be so pissed.
Dude, you're doing the podcast
I will be
the week after the
so
draft,
pissed.
and it'll be fucking hilarious. But, yeah, it was just a weird draft board. I don't know. Like, just based off of kind of like what I've seen with college football players, like, it was just weird to see J.J. McCarthy up there. Again, I'm glad that Jaden Daniels moved up there. I don't think the Heisman really should factor into anything, but he did. The end of the end of the season definitely showed that he can be a guy. And again, Drake May, why the fuck is he even up there? Who the fuck? Like, come on. Like, North Carolina was supposed to be some good shit, and he was terrible. So, it's gonna change. I mean, the draft is until April.
To be fair though, what's his face sucked ass in college football, and he really looked good this year for when he played Anthony Richardson. So who knows? Who knows? Because he looked like he was going to be sheer sure, if he could stay healthy, he'd look like he was going to be the number one or the rookie of the year for sure.
Yeah.
He's doing crazy stuff. My next one is: should the NFL change the touchback or the? I don't know what they do. Do they do a safety or a touchback once a runner? I think it's a safety. Once, like it happened with Justin Jefferson, it happened.
No,
There was something that
touchback.
happened. Oh, the touchback rule where a runner is extending the ball and fumbles it into the end zone. Should it be a touchback?
Yeah.
I think so too. I think people would be upset about that, but like we change all these little rules because it affected 2 games. Didn't it happen in the playoffs with the Bills? And I think they got it. Or I think it was the
Chiefs fumbled and the Bills they fumbled
got it back.
and the Bills got it back.
Yeah. People are gonna complain about it. I think the touchback rule is fine because it's something that happens so rarely too. Like how many times do you extend the ball and fumble into the end zone? Maybe twice a year.
I think we had
it's like
3 all season, maybe.
Yeah. One was Minnesota. JJ did it. Terrible JJ. We probably would have beat your Eagles' ass because they sucked.
The Bills and
the
Chiefs
playoff game.
And I think there was one more, but I could be completely wrong.
Yeah, I don't remember the other one, but I don't know.
To me, for a league that favors the offense so heavily with everything, you got to let the defense have some wins somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're taking the risk to extend the ball, you gotta eat it. You shouldn't be rewarded for risking it if you fumble. Like it's like if you in terms of like an offensive player fumbles the ball, and in certain what is it, under 2 minutes or some shit, another offensive player can't pick it up and scoop and run. Like you're not being rewarded. You're losing the ball at the spot of the fumble. You're not being rewarded anything further. You still recovered it.
See, that's a dumb rule though. It should be the same.
But or like, I just feel like you're so heavy into favoring the offense with everything. Pass interference, roughing the passer, just every call goes the offensive way in any way, shape, or form. You got to give the defense something, and if you're going to take the risk, you got to live with that risk. You shouldn't be able to they get the ball back at the 25, or they get the ball, like that's stupid. You took the risk.
It is almost not worth extending that ball into that end zone though.
Would you rather be? Yeah, but here's the thing. Would you rather be on the 1 yard line or giving the ball to the opposing player?
Yeah.
Like, that's what you have to... When you're doing that in your head, if you feel like you can do it, sure, go for it. Whatever. Props to you if you get it. But, like, you better secure the fucking ball and hope... Like, the biggest thing is, if you're going down, make sure you fumble it out of bounds. Don't reach for the pylon at an angle to where you're going out of bounds, at least at that point.
So you're saying Des Bryant's catch against the Packers, non-catch, that should have been a fumble, huh?
Oh, 100%. The two things that we're going to see get changed, though, the NFL is definitely going to change that rule. They're going to do some stupid bullshit with it, and most fans are going to get pissed, and then they're going to ban the tush push. Like, I already see it happening. Those two things that should be legal plays are going to get banned.
The tush push is stupid. I stopped myself right there, Skinny. You remember that? The tush push thing, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. Why do people get so pissed? It's a NFL play. Are they holding or what are they doing? The only thing that I can see is like
Josh Allen does it. He gets pushed in the end zone. Running backs, you run 8 yards, and then you get a bunch of linemen out behind you to push you forward 8 yards, another 8 yards. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, shut the fuck up. Let's move on.
People get pissed about the tush push. I don't care about it. The Eagles lost first round of the playoffs, like I said they would. Who cares? They weren't that good anyway.
Hey, yeah, I know. Like I said, I was really hoping for that loss to come with Nick Sirianni getting fired, but clearly that didn't happen.
Which what no one knows is I've been a big Chiefs fan the whole year.
Shut the fuck up. That's like
That's
number
my
9
AFC.
now. I'm pretty sure you've been like I'm a fan of half the league at this point. Jesus.
Well, what do you got to do?
Do you have one more?
Do you have any more?
I don't have any more.
I have one more. My last one is, how is the NFL going to fix the reffing?
They're not. That's the easy question. That's the easy answer. How should
They're probably not, but they
is the question? The question should be how should they fix reffing? That's the good. That's the good answer.
I think it breaks down to one or two things. You're either going to call every fucking penalty you can on every play possible, and it's going to make the game suck, or you have to give these players more leeway. But if you do that, you got to throw it on. You got to throw these penalties on obvious pass interference, obvious holding, stuff like that. You can't like pick and choose. Like the Patrick Mahomes hit against the Packers. Once the Packers got robbed, the Packers should have won that game. But once Patrick Mahomes runs out of bounds or is running, gets hit, stays in bounds, and they call the what's it called? Or no, the Patriot or the Chiefs lost, I think, against Packers or something like that. But once that happened, whoever won, the Chiefs got fucked, and I think the Packers got fucked too. But that shouldn't happen. The pass interference calls that should be called if it's actually bad. If it's not, then don't care. I don't know. The NFL refs are so inconsistent. It's hard to do, and every game's so different. It just doesn't make sense.
I have 2 ways to fix NFL refereeing in some way, shape, or form. First off, we've got 50 different camera angles. We've got the technology to put chips in players' jerseys. Why don't we have a chip to put a chip in a football?
Yeah.
Put a chip in a
I don't
football.
know if that helps. But...
It helps the spotting of the ball. Devin Singletary last week ran the ball on a potential broken play, landed on top of a player, and got a first down. It was called a 3rd and 1. You want to know what happened? The Texans didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Chipping the ball kind of showed. One, it shows where they land. Are those ones on the sideline? Where did the ball go out? Football has the ability to tell if a ball crossed a line for a goal. They're able to fucking get this shit down to a fucking pin. And they're able to show highlighted, here's the line, here's the ball. The ball crossed by this fucking much. Why doesn't the NFL have that type of shit? You'd be able to first downs, anything like that. Even touchdowns when you're in a first downs when you're in a packed form, like was it the Jordan Love QB sneak? I think it was Jordan Love, right? Where they said he was short. You would be able to see where the ball actually is compared to the line. So putting the
love shove, dude.
Putting the chip would help significantly in spotting the ball. People aren't getting robbed on 4th downs or touchdowns. Even if you can't see the ball, you can still see the ball because of the chip. You have those zones. The next one is making refs full-time. Why are you so good at your job? I guess the question is, would you be as good as your job if you were working another full-time job somewhere else, or even a part-time job? Would you be as good as your main job? Would you? Do you think you would be as good as a manager as you are if you had to focus on some other job, part-time, that puts you in a situation like refs do, where you're...
Wait. Stop. I'm glad that you're assuming I'm a good manager. I appreciate that.
Well, you're the only... you're the only... aren't you the only fucking branch that's profitable? Maybe.
No, no,
No.
no,
Oh. Oh.
no.
You're not profitable.
No,
Terrible.
there's other.
Terrible. Get you fired.
We're obviously we're profitable, but a lot of a lot
I'm gonna
of
put Marcus in the
I've
doghouse.
brought that place
We
a
need to
long way.
fire Marcus now, guys. No.
We need to fire Marcus. That's terrible. No, I'm a good manager. I would think.
Good.
Maybe not everyone would agree, but I think so.
We'll ask Bo.
But no, for sure. But these guys get paid six figures. Do you think they're working at other jobs? There's no way.
Some
They're
of
like
them are.
NFL players.
Not all of them, but not all of them. You have to
Make
think.
six figures.
Yeah, not all of them make six figures. So some of them, it is a part-time job. They have their focus on other things. If you hire them full-time, you know what full-time gets you? Weekly meetings, trainings together. You're going to go over all the same things. When you're part-time, you're not getting that. You're getting it more crew by crew than you are getting it by as a whole. So if you go full-time, they don't have to worry about another job, potentially. They don't have to worry about anything besides that. Like, it. If you go full-time, it's going to benefit. Maybe not all of them have to be full-time, because clearly every job has part-time workers. Well, most jobs have part-time workers. But you'd be able to get them more on a easier base. Because if you do part-time, well, you're working one game a week. How often are your trainings? How often are you together as a whole? How often this, that, like, focus. You get everybody on the same page. You get to do trainings together. You get everything else. Nothing.
Yeah.
You're fully focused on your job. Plus, in my opinion, if you get paid enough money to do this full time, you ain't got to, just like NFL players, you ain't got to work the other fucking 30 some weeks in a year because you're getting paid enough to live off of that. Like, I just feel like getting everybody in one room, one training, up above, even with the, up above NFL, people that are up there that do that, everybody needs to be on the same page. Clearly, things like, because when you have these part-timers, not everybody's getting the same trainings or the same, maybe even the same talks about, oh, this is how we're going to call pass interference or this and that. And the other one too is you got to break down the rules. Is pass interference is not offensive or defense, it's just pass interference. So when a offensive player, if a defensive player has a, because the way the rule to me seems like it's viewed is if the offensive player is getting restricted from the ball, right? That's how it typically is always called. But what if a defensive player is in the position to catch the ball and an offensive player restricts? You don't see offensive pass interference called like that compared to defensive. So if you go full time, maybe not all the refs, but at least the head refs, because what is it? It's a crew of like 7, right? So if you at least get 4 of those guys full time, and then, but put them in like the main reffing areas, like clearly the one watching the quarterback and offensive line of scrimmage, got your head judge, got the deep ball guy, like things like that. You got to have it mixed in. Clearly, you can't just throw them all one side. But I think if you go full time, it'll definitely pan out.
I wouldn't disagree, I guess.
That's just me, though.
Cheers to the next quarter.
Do you even want to do another quarter, or do you just want to keep this? Like, it's literally 2 things.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, so we're not going to change. We're just doing 2 quarters today.
We are playing soccer now.
Yeah, pretty much. 2 halves.
2 halves.
All right, well, for pick'ems, very short.
Oh, yeah, pick them.
Did you have something else?
Go ahead.
Did you have something else?
No.
Oh.
No, I was just going to go on to the games.
Pick'ems. I went 3-1 last week. I'm now 5-5. Marcus went 2-2, so he is now 6-4. We are both 500 plus. Woot, 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 woot. And we only have 2 games to pick from. So, Marcus, why don't you start us off?
Alex Smith in the Kansas City Chiefs versus Joe Flacco and the Baltimore Ravens.
I really want to see. I want to see a different team in the Super Bowl. I do. Like, I want to see I want to see 2 quarterbacks that haven't won a Super Bowl go play for a Super Bowl. But it's so goddamn hard to fucking bet against Mahomes. Like, that is like literally the fucking hardest thing. So I'm gonna take Patty Mahomes over the Ravens. As much as I don't want to, it's just hard to bet against him at all.
I'm taking Patrick, the man Mahomes, as well. Dante Culpepper and the Detroit Lions versus Jeff Garcia and the San Francisco 49ers.
Is that the only 49ers quarterback you can think of is Jeff Garcia?
I've said him quite a bit.
Yeah, you've said him every time you've done a quarterback. I feel like.
Tim Ratty. Who else? Well, I couldn't say Alex Smith twice.
Yeah, no.
After that, who else is there really?
Jimmy G's not relevant anymore.
Oh, I forget about Jimmy G.
Trey Lance.
Why Trey Lance? Yeah, I suppose. Whoever. Sam Darnold.
It don't matter who you say, because I'm taking the fucking Detroit Lions.
I'm taking the Lions too. You know what? I want the third seed, two number 3 seeds to make it to the Super Bowl. It'd be fun. Because let me tell you, if there's one Super Bowl, if the Ravens and the San Francisco 49ers make it to the Super Bowl, it's rigged. It's donezo, guys. It's donezo. It's rigged, 100%. It's confirmed. That'll be 3 years in a row that the colors have stated who gets into the Super Bowl. But I feel like the Chiefs and Lions will be such a way better Super Bowl to watch. It'll be fun. You have a lot of characters there. You got Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes,
Dan Campbell. That's a great fucking story.
Yeah. Travis Kelce. If Travis Kelce wins this, is he going to retire? Probably not, but still.
The biggest thing for me,
Super Bowls,
is fuck the Swifties and the Super Bowl. That's the only thing. But if the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl, we get to see hopefully another shirtless Jason Kelce. Going fucking getting.
That's
drunk.
true,
dude. Have you seen it? Have you seen the photo?
Your
of my
brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, at his wedding.
At my wedding.
Was that at his wedding?
My wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't
Skylar do it too?
Yeah. Well, Skylar went down to his vest, but he took his shirt off, but went to his vest.
Who else
eventually.
went? No, someone else went shirtless at your wedding.
Skylar and my brother. But Skylar put his vest on eventually. My brother stayed shirtless pretty much all fucking night.
I forgot about that.
The who did it better of my brother and him. And
I did see that. It was funny.
Yeah.
We got to get Jordan on the podcast.
Well, he was supposed to be, but then something didn't work. He's got bowling. The motherfucker bowls all the goddamn time and is in bowling leagues.
He bowls now?
Yeah, he's in bowling leagues, dude.
Jordan, what are you doing, man?
But yeah. With that, that was the pod. Nothing else too exciting.
Yeah.
Again, follow us on the Insta, Facebook. We got a group. We got the X at it's 2drunk_guys_pod. Follow us on that for the banger tweeters.
Someone get our podcast. Let's get our podcast to 50 before the end of the
50.
football
Share it
season.
with your friends. Share it to whoever. I don't give a shit.
50,
If you got a
50
wife,
subscribers.
if you got a wife, go to your wife's YouTube and just subscribe. I don't give a shit. Do whatever. We got to get to 50.
Make her a YouTube. Make her a YouTube.
Yeah, make her a YouTube. Get us to 50. We got this week we got 3 weeks after this week to get to 50. We're at like 44. 6 more. We can fucking do it. I believe in all of you. Cheers.
I agree. Like and fucking subscribe.